The sync gets me every time, you guys. Welcome back to Knowledge is Key. Okay, so we are on, I know it, I never want to date myself, so I don't know what week we on. But welcome back, you guys. So we've been literally like discussing a lot of topics, and today's topic is, you know, something that I feel is important because it's a lane that is very unique. Creating jewelry is very intricate, and I only say that because I've seen the equipment that it takes. I've seen someone on their you know, in their studio with a torch, you know, torching down stuff. So if you're tuning in today, remember, like I said, if you're in your car, if you're watching me from YouTube at home, if you are, you know, working out in the gym and you just want to, you know, work out and get some tips today, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Kei Renee, and this is Knowledge is Key. And today I have with me a very special guest. It is one of my good friends, Aman Itomi. He is a celebrity jeweler. You guys have seen his jewelry on literally, and just recently, Lil Nas X has worn his jewelry. Diddy wore his jewelry. J-Lo wears his jewelry. Malumba, and I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, please forgive me. And don't not give me an interview when I'm ready. But he wears his jewelry. I want to even be frank, Tupac Shakur's mom? Or who's
Yeah.
wore
She
he is here, you guys. You guys don't see him, but you're here. But yeah, she wore your
she wore my stuff.
Yeah.
She was actually if I could talk about it.
Okay, so with further ado, let me get some drum rolls. No, so I have celebrity jeweler Aman Itomi here. Like, do you like? First of all, do you see these glasses that this man has on today? These are fresh. No, I really want those glasses though, so you should run me those when this is over with. All right, bet. So Aman, welcome.
What's up, man?
Man, like, first of all, you're amazing, and thank you so much for coming on this show. And it was very last minute, and you came through, and I appreciate you. But like, I don't know, like, I've known Aman, you guys, for maybe like what, like
Probably about 5 years.
like about 5 years or whatever. And ironically enough, how me and Disco, or well, I mean, we're gonna start calling him in Disco now. Guess where I like met Aman at? One of my Stylers panel events.
Yeah, I was with Sam.
Yeah, Sam Sarpong.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Sam Sarpong.
He brought us together though, for real.
Yeah, no, remember I remember when we used to always say when Sam passed away, like,
that's another story.
yeah, like literally, like Sam, he introduced us,
Yeah.
like he put us in the universe together.
That was magic.
Yeah, and that was my first.
If you think about it, it's kind of like an angel, for real.
Yeah, for real. Rest in peace. I miss Sam sometimes. We were just talking about him yesterday, but it's not about Sam today.
Yeah.
You like, and anyone out there who is watching, and you know, maybe you want to get into, you know, jewelry design. Can we show them this ring on your finger? I don't know.
Yeah, this is
Crazy.
This is like, you know, I'm from the East Coast, so I grew up, you know, in hip hop and stuff like that. Little kid, so I used to see the dudes with the big.
You want to come closer so that?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I used to see the kids, I guess the older guys with the big dookie ropes, the gold chains with the sailor pendant. So it's a part of my culture.
Yeah.
So I just trying to make it look more futuristic, but it's like my b-boy futuristic ring. So
yeah, I feel like you've, cause I know, like I see dudes wearing rings like sometimes, but I feel like the rings that you make it to where like I could even see like hood niggas in the rings, and it would like still be okay.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't feel no type of way.
Yeah,
like,
it's a category too, because you know it's all about like if somebody is pay to play, you can have a Honda, you can have a Bentley. So if you want like, you know, VVS diamonds, you want the regular diamonds that people get, you know, I can do it for you. But for me, I think it's so many other stones and so many other colors and vibrations that affect this, that they can do the diamonds. I could do them, but I'd rather do stones that you can't get, like turquoise. The mines are closed, so it's like you can't even get turquoise anymore. So it's like the value of that just went from semi-precious to precious. But diamonds is like carbonated. It's carbon, and like you could really burn this thing down, get a machine, bomb, compress it, and you got a diamond. So it's not really too much special to that, but that's the light, you know.
Yeah. So let's talk about like you. Are you a first generation entrepreneur?
Nah.
No. Who was the first?
Well, in my family.
In your immediate, like your household immediate.
I know, like, have my mom's side, they were
No, I mean, like, so in your household, your mom, your brothers, your sisters, are you the first?
I would be the first.
Okay.
I would be the first.
All right, so bet.
Yeah.
So ding, 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 ding. We got a first. So you're a first generation entrepreneur, essentially. So growing up, because even though I'm a first generation entrepreneur, I used to watch my aunt who had, she owned a salon. So
you take that back. My aunt was, but I didn't really grow up in that
household,
that state
yeah,
that she was in. So
what did your aunt do?
She was a hairstylist. She
lit. Okay.
She had a big company. She's still doing hair.
Do you feel at all like seeing her in her salon like did anything for you, or did it put anything in your head?
I think everything before today has something to do with me now. So I think definitely, because remember we used to go visit from Jersey. We used to go see her. And she used to have these fly places, like when I was a kid, like in the early 90s, like stuff that people buy now. So I didn't know what that was when I was younger. I was just like, this don't look like where I live. So she took that and did something well with herself. So I guess it did affect me, you know. But I think growing up in the era and the time I was, is like you either you really had to hustle. You know, you had to sell something. Yeah. You know, like, because the jobs wasn't really there. You know, so it was like, all right, how you gonna make money? So, you know, so I think that me as a child affected me today, and me kind of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And your journey with entrepreneurship, where would you say it started? Because what was like everyone always started with something before they got to their big thing.
I was trying to make music when I was younger, so I tried to get a keyboard. I think it was called an ASR 10. I think Kanye had it, RZA had it, and I was like, yo, I gotta get this keyboard. So I started selling candy in school. So I made like $50 in the daytime before school started. I used to get in trouble for selling candy in the class. Like, yo, what you want? What pop? What you want? You know, so and then it just grew, you know, and grew. And then I think I was living in Atlanta. I was doing like shea butter, oil, selling to everybody. And I was like, you know what? That was cool, but I felt like I wanted to do something that lasted a lifetime. Yeah. And so eventually, you know, I was real good at architect. So I think jewelry is like a small version of architect, because it's like 3 dimensions, side, top, right view, left view. So, so.
And then so you got into like the jewelry thing, and when you first got into jewelry, and because I always think, like, you know, when I was talking to you before we started recording, like, I'm like, everything is about the numbers, and when people want to start businesses and they want to do stuff, the number, or the word that always comes to mind whenever I'm thinking about something is, what's your overhead looking like? Like, you know, like, so when you first started out doing jewelry, what was the one thing that you had to purchase as a supply that you didn't realize that was going to be like, I got to figure out how to get that, like, either cheaper, or I got to figure out, or I didn't realize that, dang, to make these rings or to make this necklace, that piece of supply was going to cost that much?
Well, it's really because I'm like, you know, vegan, I'm organic. I try to be as organic as I can without having a farm and having my own land and knowing science in the soil. But I wanted to do it like my ancestors did it. You know, they did it kind of through fabrication. A lot of stuff you see now, like the necklace you're wearing, it's casted. It's like it's not made by hand. It's like a machine. They do the mold, the wax injection. And they really don't do anything. They might do the 3D image on a computer, and then they'll translate into a real image, a real product. So most people do that. But I like fabrication because I feel like I connect to my ancestors. I'm actually using a torch. I'm getting my hands dirty. I'm cutting. I'm filing. I do the other stuff too, but I feel closer to making stuff by my hands. So that's called fabrication. Okay. So that's what I think keeps me in a certain lane, is because I can make the other stuff, and I do, but my focus is really making stuff by hand. Because I think you can feel it. You know, it's a difference.
Do you feel like doing the by hand route actually makes it more cost effective than the other route, or is like it balances out?
No, because with any business, if you like wholesale, if you buy socks and you get 12 pair, you might only get 17 cents discount. But if you buy 100 pair, you might get a 23-cent discount. So bulk is always better when you're talking about money. But then when you get into bulk, so say if I do have equipment where I can do anything, make anything. But once you start getting into that equipment, it's expensive. Like to get in the game, it's kind of expensive to do it. Any game, really, if you want to be the best. So I just think you gotta love it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a labor of love. If I really, really wanted to make money, you probably wouldn't see me on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be talking or anything like that. So this is more for, like, the art and something I can leave for future generations. Because I already did thousands of pieces. And when I'm dead, the jewelry's going to last.
Yeah.
So that's why I got into it. I didn't get into it really for the money. I got into it because I think it's something that appreciates with value.
Yeah.
You know, you can see right now the money's going down. Metals are going up, gold's going up, silver's going up. When I started, it was way cheaper. So, and I'm still giving good prices to people, you know, because I believe in, you know, art. So
yeah, do you think at all has the I guess we like the pandemic, whatever. Has it affected the cost of like your supplies? 'Cause I know, like you had said, like a lot of stuff is becoming more like limited, like. You can't really get some of the stones.
It's just harder because things come from all around the world. You know, you might have a stone that's from Tanzania. You might have a stone that's from Russia. So to get it here, you know, USPS is slowed down. Things are happening. So it's hard for everybody. So I don't, you know, it's just a part of the game.
And I think for people to understand, because I don't know if anyone's out there and they're listening and they're like, okay, slow down, Key, my bad, I forgot to say my name. No. But like, slow down because like, okay, I'm already in love with Aman and what he's up to, but what kind of jeweler is this man? Like, why is he talking about these stones and all this stuff? So you're not like, you don't make, so there's different categories of jewelers, right?
Yeah.
So what category of jeweler do you place Aman Itomi, the brand? And his brand is Aman Itomi, and if you're looking him up on social, the Basquiat of metal.
That's the nickname he gave to me in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because this is for people who don't know, it's this artist that came out of Brooklyn in the 80s with Warhol, Madonna, Fat Five Freddy. His name is Basquiat, Jean Basquiat. And so he was a painter. And I was in Brooklyn, and people just say, yo, you the Basquiat of metal. You out in this area, you doing it, you just doing it with metal. So that's how I got that title, the Basquiat of metal. That's one of my nicknames.
Yeah, I mean, other than Sugar Daddy, Big Daddy.
Nah.
No. I know you got some other nicknames at home. No. But so, if we're to go to the category of jewelry design, where do we place your kind of jewelry?
I say hand. If you're going by titles that people use, it'll be fine jewelry, fine handcrafted jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm like sitting at home or whatever, and I'm like, you know, I also, you know, I also want to get into jewelry, and I want to be able to do that type of stuff too. But in order to start this business, what equipment do I need? Starter equipment, because I don't want to get into, because to me I feel like people like do be like, oh no, go out and buy, like even like right now the cameras that are being filmed. Damari, what kind of camera is that over there?
C300 Mark III.
And that just came out like a week ago, right? Or like a month ago. But it's like, I'm not gonna tell someone to go when they're just starting, go buy that camera. Because how much was that camera?
Like 14, 15.
Too much, okay? I'm gonna tell you to go out and get a $500 camera and get it started.
You always level up.
Yeah.
I think for me it's like I started with the basics. I started with a torch. I started with files from Home Depot. My hands, you know, I always beat my hands up. Pliers, you know, just whatever you got to start with, and then you just move up if you feel like you need to move up. But sometimes I think doing stuff in a raw is beautiful. You know, sometimes people, even with music, they'll record at the biggest studio in LA, and the sound don't sound like what it sound like when they recorded at home. So I think it's really art. But I think you could get in any game with maybe like $1,000, and then just start going from there. You know,
like someone just cringed right now.
Really, you, like I said, really once you get to a certain level, these people don't make the jewelry. They just press buttons, you know, or they like any game, they put their name on it. They're not, you know, if I wanted to just put my name on something, I wouldn't make it, but I really want to make art.
Yeah.
So
you say realistically to start your own art brand. So just recently, which I think, you know, I was excited every time I get a little screenshot from you. Let's talk about this cover. So this is Jennifer Lopez and Maluma.
Yeah.
And Maluma's wearing your jewelry.
Shout out to Hugo. Shout out to Maluma. Shout out to Jay. Yeah, I'm.
So how did this happen? How did this happen?
They reached out to me. I think they were doing. We were shooting with Malama. Excuse me. We were shooting Vogue in Harper's Bazaar, and they were like, "Yo, man, can we? They want can we use your stuff again for J-Lo, and the video is gonna be big." And I was like, "Yeah," because they already had it because they was using it for 2 other magazines.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it happened. So they was like, "Yo, we want to stay with you." So that's kind of.
Do you ever get nervous when you give like your jewelry to sets and stuff? Like, especially because like your jewelry is like so expensive. Like, do you ever get nervous giving it to?
I usually have a protocol because it's like it's a game. Like I remember I was doing jewelry for this artist not too long ago, and they people trying to cheat you just like in any business. So they wanted me to send off the jewelry, and they didn't finish paying me. So I was like, you gotta pay me, for my work. So they didn't pay me. So I was like, how about this? I'm gonna give you your money back, and we squared off, But so it is dangerous. It's like you give thousands of dollars out to a company or to somebody, a stylist, or to a group, and sometimes, in any business, people don't do what they say they're gonna do in business. So you take a loss sometimes, but it ain't gonna kill me.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
I think it's always so cool because like you're like not only this cover, right? So this is something that's so new, and we have to like throw up some. I'm gonna have to put some little hand claps in there, and get it all popping. But this is I don't know. This to me is awesome. Like I've been seeing like just in the past year, like even when I seen Lil Nas X wearing your jewelry at the VMAs, right? It was the VMAs.
Yeah, the VMAs.
VMAs, like it's like. Then you see Diddy wearing your jewelry as he's accepting an award. So how do you, more say like, how do when jewelers are getting their jewelry placed, is it like a thing where it's like, okay, so your jewelry just got placed on a cover for with Maluma wearing it. Is it like a thing where like then his stylist or someone else's stylist is like, okay, well, now we're gonna reach out to him to design something for our next artist. It like kind of flows.
Yeah,
like
I think it's word of mouth. I think it's word of mouth because when I first started, I started with Erykah Badu. I used to do a lot of her stuff, and but before her, I did jewelry for Most Def, and his DJ told Erykah Badu. Then she started messing with me, and this is when I was in Atlanta. This is before IG or anything, and then I think. Then Erykah Badu told, I think, what's that, like, India.Arie. Then India.Arie, then she wanted stuff. Then Raphael Sadiq wanted stuff. So it was kind of like word of mouth. And it's still been like, most of my business is still word of mouth. Because, I'm not a big, I don't have a big brand. I'm not going to spend $1 million to try to get some money back. So.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah. So I'm just blessed that people call me and like my work. You know?
So what do you think got you here? Like, what do you think about the Aman Itomi brand got you to where your jewelry's on some of the biggest artists in the world?
I can't even say it's me. I guess it
well, the brand, the Aman Itomi, just the brand, because I know your name is the Aman, but the actual jewelry brand. Like, what about the brand do you think keeps getting these phone calls?
Guess they like it. You know what I mean? And I said, I don't feel like it's me. I just feel like all of us are like vessels, and we all have a job to do. Yeah. And I think this is my job to a degree. How can I? So I think it's the universe or God or whatever you want to say that I can't make this up. The stuff that happens and all these blessings that I got, I couldn't have thought of that. So I think I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. And I'm gonna just keep doing it. Like I remember I was doing an art show in DC, and me and my girlfriend at the time, and I think I had a bad day, but it really wasn't a bad day. But money wise, compared to the other days, it was kind of like So I'm like, I'm gonna go back to the streets. I'm gonna go back to hustling and grinding. And so it was a Monday morning. I told my girl, like, yo, if somebody call, I don't want to answer. Please don't give me the phone, because I was like really thinking about getting back to a different lifestyle. Yeah. And then she's like, yo, you got a phone call. I think you should take it. I'm like, I don't want to take it. She's like, you should take it. So I took the phone call. They was like, is this Aman Itomi? I was like, yeah. And I just was feeling away. And they was like, this is BT, we want you to do the honorary piece for Shaka Khan for the something, I forgot what year, for the something BT Awards. So they said they was gonna fly me down and everything. And once I heard that, I was like, because I was gonna really give up. Every time I feel like I'm gonna give up on something amazing happens. So that happened. When they called me there, I said, you know what? I'm never gonna give up on this. Even if I do a million other things, I'm always gonna do jewelry to the day I die. Because every time I want to step out of it, something major happens that makes me want to keep going. But it's not anything you do. You know how it is. It's not for the faint of heart. You gotta just. It's like you work on something, you put it down, you keep going, you keep going.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
So I think that's my energy. I just don't stop.
Like jewelry to you is like your calling.
It's one of my callings.
Yeah.
You know, it's a medium. It's like, you know, everything's a medium. You know, from what you eat to what you wear to what you read. So it's just one of the many mediums that I use to create. And so
I got a question. So you kind of touched on like not giving up, right? But was it more of a situation of you not giving up because you were that attached to the art? So even if you did give up as a business, you would have continued to do it?
I can't speak for everybody, but you got to know when to get out of something. Right. You mean that's being smart. You can't, like, if like me living in certain areas, I got to know when to leave the party. You know?
True.
Like, you know, and like, you know, like where I lived and where I came from is like, you got to always look around your corner. I'm sitting, when I go places, I'm still sitting looking at the door. So you got to know when to leave. Anything. So but for me, it's an art form. It's not about the money. It's going to mean I could do other things to get money, but it's an art. So it's like, it's not going to be too much compromise. Like I could have made deals to get it bigger. My stuff, you know, could be in stores, but I'm not about to dumb it down or water it down, you know, to make money. If I wanted to make money, I would have sold insurance or something like that, you know? So I just think it's not for the faint of, if you love something, just do it, you know? Like it's a lot of artists that I know that are talented that never made it, never got out of their neighborhood, but they're amazing. And so I think you gotta do it for the love. You know, you gotta get your paper because you're in America.
Exactly.
You know? So you gotta do that, but you gotta also do something you love because there's people with paper that is, you know it, extremely highly depressed.
Even going back to what you said, it sounds like you literally enjoy the journey of crafting something from start to finish. So it don't matter if somebody like it or not. You just enjoying just the process.
But then if you apply that and take it to other parts of your life, right? Like the enjoyment of seeing you film.
Right.
The enjoyment of how you put this together, how you got 5 batteries so you won't run out of time. You know what I'm saying?
It's hella batteries over there.
I enjoy, it's like you take that principle, I'm saying for me, and apply it to everything. I enjoy every moment. Cause in my family, I had like 4 people die that were close to me in the last 2 years.
Word.
And you know it's the COVID, so you can't really see them and touch them how you want to. So you gotta enjoy it, because it's like, boom. It's like, it's gone. So I don't even look at enjoying the jewelry. I try to enjoy everything and be in that moment as much as I can.
Right.
You know, as much as I can. And a part of the journey is to bump your foot, is to crash your car, is to fall in love, is to fall out of love. The journey is everything. And if you say, like, we're human, so the human experience is supposed to be to feel what human is. So it's feeling, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm mad, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm not lonely. Those are all things that are part of the journey. And if you know that's coming with the game of being a human, then everything's a work of art. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%.
For sure.
I told Kei, I just went out to the desert.
Oh yeah.
Just to enjoy life, just to connect with the spirits. You know what I mean? And just be one, man. Enjoy that moment for what it is. You know.
And let me say one more thing. The piggyback. It's not always about doing. Like, people think they got to be productive. It's not always about being productive. It's about being. You know. Sometimes you gotta sit the fuck down, relax.
Yeah. I feel like that's one thing I always get from you is whenever, you know, because I confide in you a lot whenever I'm like, you know, thinking about stuff or trying to get things done, and you always tell me like, it's okay, like, to just sit still, like, and just be in that. Like, you know, if you're in a funk today, sit in it. It's okay. Like, don't like beat yourself down. But at the end of the day, you do also tell me, be productive.
Like, this is one of the best movies that my mom always say to me. You remember the Ray movie?
Yeah.
So Ray.
Wait, no, I don't know
Ray Charles.
Oh, okay.
Ray Charles. So he was blind, right? And his mom was like, my mom always say this to me. She said she's not tough, but she's strong. She says, you got 15 minutes to cry to get back to fucking work. Right? But she said, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you, Ray. Now get your ass up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is how I look at emotions.
Go.
Okay. So the other day I was sad. I lost some family members. You watching what's going on TV. You seeing what's happening to the world, the planet. So, you know, I was feeling away, but I knew it wasn't me. It was the emotion of the world. So this is how I was on my computer like you working on something. The emotion hit me, and this is how I look at it. Oh, hey, you here today? Sadness? Okay, hey, how you doing, man? You can be here, but I gotta work. So go ahead, do what you gotta do. Stay as long as you want, get comfortable. But I gotta finish this project. So go ahead. And then before you know it, like, how did you feel last Tuesday at 3 o'clock? You don't even remember? Right? Okay.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. When you get caught up in your emotions too much, instead of just letting it pass through you, you fuck up. I got family members, they feel away, they doing bad things.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, okay, I can have all these emotions, but they're not me. It could be the universe. So I just trying to let the things pass. And I know that last week, Tuesday at 3 o'clock, I made me some bomb ass fucking jewelry. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's
I don't look at it like it's like that's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not me. It's an energy that comes through all types. You know, and I don't mind which one comes. It could be happy. Usually it's happy for me.
Right.
You know, sad comes sometimes. Depression might come, but depression to me is not what some people think. Depression is like, let me see your hand. Try to raise up. That's depression. Depression comes from the system pushing you down. It's not me. It's like if you let the hand go, boom.
Yeah.
So I don't never look at depression as something that happens to me. I look at it as society doing stuff to keep you down. So I'm not gonna beat myself up because society's trying to fuck me up.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like it's just about looking at it. So I look at everything as art.
Preach, brother Aman. No.
You gotta get drops.
Nah.
This is the time where we need. Oh man, I'm just so sad because I don't got my ding ding yet. I'm trying to get this thing that goes. How's it go? Like that's what I'm about to be playing anytime someone drops some knowledge. So I'm gonna just start doing it for my voice. Like I feel like that's what we just did right now. We had like a whole like. You wanna do it with me?
Yeah.
Moment. Like that's exactly what we just did. So I don't know. Like I feel like. If you're tuning into this and you don't feel some type of, if you don't want to get up and go get something done right now, maybe getting into business ain't for you. If this conversation didn't just energize your spirits and it didn't just like make you just want to just go to the Joshua tree and go. First of all, I was like, this is a whole black nigga back here, y'all, at Joshua Tree at 8 p.m. at nighttime with a flashlight. Okay.
I was there from 8 to like 1.
In the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he tripping.
I was there.
I told him I had to run.
I know people go to, be like, this is crazy, but it's something out there, man. It's something out them spirits and all that.
That's why you went to sleep dreaming how you were dreaming.
But that's your medium.
Yeah.
Your medium could be jogging. It could be walking dogs. It's not like society just got especially social media. Like before, when people were winning, if you see them, you see them.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like most of the people who look like they winning, they really ain't winning. Word. The people I know that's really getting bread, they're not really on social media.
Oh yeah, the people that I follow who I look up to, they have
their numbers is low.
They're like got 100 followers and they be freaking like posting like once a month.
They don't care. But we all at different journeys, so you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, the people who I strive to be, I follow all their pages and I'm just like I follow a lot of. like, I don't really follow like the influencers. I follow the people behind the influencers, or I follow like the person that's actually cutting in that check. Like, you know, like I want to follow like the COO of the company. I want to follow the CEO of the company. I don't want to follow the face who got paid the check.
That's a good way to do it.
I want to follow the person and I try to all the time. I like to follow the person who's building it, whose idea it was, who brought it into fruition. Because even though that person's not posting as much, that's the person with the brains. Like, that's the person I want to get close to, because that's who I strive to be. One day, I mean, I strive to be the person writing checks for people, you know, speaking into existence. But you know, it's like I strive to be the person cutting the checks to everybody and having the face of something, like someone else is being the face and all the other things, like, you know, more than what I'm able to do today.
And it's,
like,
it's a process. Like, all these big stores, JCPenney's, Sears and Warbuck, they started, like, if you look in the 1900s, they started in a horse, buggy, and carriage. They had the stuff and sold it. Ralph Lauren started in the streets like I did in New York, in Manhattan. All of these guys, they started how we started, but they started 50 years ago, and they may had help.
So with that being said, you know, everyone who's tuning in, this is what I want you guys to do. If you're, I don't know where you're going to be commenting at. If you're commenting on YouTube, get it cracking. If you're commenting on Instagram, get it cracking. Wherever you're commenting, I want you guys to go into the comments, and I just want to know, what's your calling? Like, you know, like, what do you feel is your calling? Is it what you're doing right now? And if it is, tell me a little bit about what it is. Like, let us know what your calling is. Like,
That's one thing on it. In my calling, like, before I did jewelry, it was years that I had to take care of my family. So it was years that I was doing something that I did not want to do. Years. And everybody's not religious, everybody doesn't pray, but I believe that, you know, you can use your mind and your prayer. Everything helps, right? Like the food you eat helps, everything helps. It took me like a year and a half after I was praying to get the sign what it was. And then it took me another year and a half of trial and tribulation to get to that point where I even started. So it took me 3 years while I was doing other stuff to even get started with what the idea I had. So imagine you say you wanted to do this, but it took you 3 years before you even get the equipment, before you even start doing this. So, you know, sometimes and I'm a late bloomer. I got my call late in life. You know, so it's like, but I'm still alive. You know what I mean? So sometimes you want to get your calling, like some, what's that dude, Bono from YouTube? He ain't start popping to like 42, 43. Like, all these top people didn't really get popping. No, everybody doesn't start early.
Word.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even rush it. I'll just say, just keep asking for whatever it is that you're supposed to do to come to you, and hopefully it'll come to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I'm gonna touch on that too. And even if you in the field, right? Because it's a difference between doing something and popping. You know what I mean?
That's a 1% too. That's a lot of times 1%.
Right. Remember.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart started in Soul Plane. just leave it at that.
What does that mean?
Nah, I get it. And here's the crazy thing, because Philly, Jersey, New York, so it's like they're not too far from each other. So I remember he used to do shows in Atlantic City, like in a hole in the wall. Right. So like everybody start. Yeah.
I think it's like, you just gotta start. Like, it doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, even when you like, when I love, you know, I watch Girlfriends a lot now. So it's like, when you look in it and you see the extras and you see the people who were just getting like that 1-line role or that 2-line, you'd be like, oh dang, that's a chick on Housewives of whatever. Dang, she had like a 1-liner on here. Oh dang, that's like, that person was in such and such. All they got to do was like just roll their eyes in the camera. Right. Oh dang, I seen that person. They had a whole spin off of da-da-da-da-da. Like, everybody's process started somewhere, like, you know. And with that all being said and everything that we're doing, Aman, thank you so much for even, coming by. Now just keep spitting some game in the university that we have going on. Hopefully one day I can actually get you to do something with the university and, teach a class or, something when it comes to like jewelry.
Whatever you need that I can do.
Yeah, awesome. I love when people say that. because that means I'm calling you. No, but everyone who's watching, if you want to get in contact with Aman, just let them know really quickly where they can reach out to you. If they, people might have questions for you about, jewelry or just what you're doing, who you are, how to like get some of your pieces custom made for them. How can they reach out to you?
Easiest way is Instagram, or Facebook. I think it's the same thing. It's Aman Itomi. It's AMANITOMI. AMAN, like amen. Amen. ITOMI.
Okay.
Aman Itomi.
Aman Itomi.
On all the media platforms.
All right, sounds legit. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Knowledge is Key. We're going to be doing this for you guys each and every single week. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're on my YouTube channel so that you can and get, hit that ding notification bell so that you'll be able to like get everything that you need. And just like I said last time, what did I say? I said, I don't have a theme song yet, so I'm just about to say peace.
Peace.
We out.